Hi, I'm Darren Palmer, and this is Almost Home, a podcast about dreamers still finding their place. My career has taken me many places, from design studios to your TV screen. With this podcast, though, I'm going somewhere completely different. One of the most genuine and curious friends I have is Allison Langdon. She's sharp and funny as a friend and so iconic as a journalist. Today, we talk about her country roots, the beautiful home she's created with her family, and the renovation that was underway when she experienced a life-changing injury.
Why didn't I do this earlier?
Yeah, I know, right?
There we go. You know, every time you do a podcast, everyone's going to want this kind of service.
Everyone's not you, doll.
Yeah.
So let's step inside with Ali and hear how she's finding herself almost home. My TurboBlade ultra-powerful bladeless tower fan by Shark could not have come at a better time. With summer heating up, I've barely been able to keep my shirt on these days. And now, cool bliss. Twistable, pivotable, oscillating, shirt-friendly bliss. With adjustable vents, multiple cooling modes, and a chic look, it's so cool, it's kind of stealing my thunder. The TurboBlade ultra-powerful bladeless tower fan by Shark. Ultra-powerful, endlessly adjustable.
All right, Darren Palmer, what you got?
Oh, Jesus. Hey, Christ. That's my job, mate. The first time that I was here in your house, we were roughly here, actually.
Yeah.
And you cooked dinner in your unrenovated house for Matt Moran and me. And I thought, geez, this woman, she doesn't care at all.
Her house is shit. The dinner's going to be shit.
And then I thought, well, of course she doesn't give a shit about cooking for you in an unrenovated house. She's worked in war zones. She's swum with sharks. Like, who gives a... The stakes are very low. However, the tables have turned, and now I'm interviewing you, and this is your natural environment. And whilst you didn't feel judged, I feel incredibly judged, and I think...
You should.
Great.
I'm judging every word that comes out of your mouth.
I figured, and I think by the end of this, you're going to be able to tell me whether or not I did a good job.
Oh, and I won't mince my words, as always.
I'm very aware of that.
But can I say, I don't like this role shift either. Like, I don't like being on this side of the microphone as much.
Yeah, good. So we're both uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That makes for great listening.
It's a good starting point.
It's funny, you know, like the reason I wanted to talk to you is because I think a lot of people don't understand how funny you are. I think, like, through the Today Show, they probably got a sense of your sense of humour.
I'm a very serious journalist.
You are a very serious journalist. And I think one of my other great memories of you is we were filming a ad for 9 Now or something, and it was in this beautiful house in like Bellevue Hill or Willara, and you just had Scout. You were in like this pink jumpsuit and you looked just banging. And I was like, wow, you look
very
amazing.
Different.
This is my memory.
Okay.
You look insane in this pink jumpsuit. And I say to you, wow, you look fantastic. And you said, mutton dressed up as lamb. And I said, aren't we all? And you immediately went, it's so cute you think you look like lamb.
Yes, I do remember that. See, I don't remember the shoot but I remember the insult.
Yeah.
I remember the
it's a great insult.
It was. And it obviously had no impact on you 6 years later?
I stored it away. I stored it away and kept it to weep over later, yes.
Did you talk to your therapist about it?
I talked to my therapist about everything, Ali. What do you think this is? This is the same thing.
It is so good to have you here, by the way. I love having you in the house. That it kind of looks like this because of you, by the way. Like, our house looks entirely different to what the plan was. Yeah. Because you just kind of went boom, boom, boom. And it's like...
So for the listeners, what actually happened was Ali was doing her place and asked me to look over the plans. And I think you asked me, and then like 6 weeks went by, and
You're not great getting back.
Not very responsive. No. Yes, I was a little bit busy. And then I was like, oh, God, sorry, did you still need me to look at those plans? And you're like, yeah. And I had a look at it and went, okay, well, why don't you put the kitchen where the lounge room was and the lounge room where the kitchen was.
So not like big major changes or anything like that, just the entire layout of the house changed.
Why don't you just do it completely differently and it'll work better? But it did.
And it didn't save us money, is all I'm going to say about it. However, we love it so much. So thank you. Thank you for that, Sam. I knew that night when I cooked you dinner in the unrenovated house that it would all come back someday.
So that was a cheap consult. Yeah, great. But this is something you can do now that you weren't able to do for years. Have a morning in your home on a weekday.
I know. It's really, really, really nice. And you sort of think that means a sleep in, except the kids are up so early and you're out of the house at 7:15 in the morning.
Oh, the indignity of it all.
I know.
How dare they?
Those bloody kids. I mean, who would have thunk it when you had them that this is how it will play out? But the mornings are lovely now, just having that time with the kids. And we had some mates over a while ago and we were talking about it because the kids are 6 and 8 now. They're going, look, they're out of that rat bag stage and they're just delightful and, and Mike's like, no, they're not. You're just here in the mornings when they wake up and they're lovable and they come in and they jump on you in bed and give you cuddles and what have you. He deals with night times, with the witching hour where they don't want to eat their dinner and they don't want to go to bed and they're grizzly. So it's not that they're not like that anymore. I just don't see it.
Do you know what? That's the key to a happy life. It's just sort of filtering out the things you don't want to do with or see.
Get rid of witching hour and, life's cruisy.
Last time I was here, you used to get up at like 2 in the morning.
3,
and then sometimes just get in your jammies and drive to work.
I'd go straight to work in my pajamas. Because I remember the very first shift of Today Show, we also had Mike's 2 sisters and their families here. They had 3 kids because I think there were fires down south, so they'd all had to evacuate, and so they arrived on the Sunday, and Monday was my very first Today Show shift. So everyone was here, and there was like bodies camped on every surface you can imagine. I think it was before we did the house. But I remember I got up in the morning and jumped in the shower, and I just woke everyone up. And like Scout was 9 months, Mackie was 2, and
Chaos.
I learnt after that morning. Yeah, and then I had to leave Mike with like, sorry babe, and chuff off. I learnt
There's
after
a recurring theme there.
Yeah. Of what, Paul's sufferable.
Poor Mike.
He hears it a bit. And I learnt after that to just literally just clean your teeth, and I'd go to work in your PJs, which is totally fine arriving at work at 3 o'clock in your PJs. Problem is when I'd get changed back out of my on-air clothes back into your pajamas.
You got PJs to go home.
And you're leaving the office at 10:30 in your PJs and your Ugg boots.
Daily Mail must have had something to say about that.
Well, it's more every now and again, passing the CEO, the boss or something in the lift.
That's high stakes alley right there. There she is.
Dressing gown and her Ugg boots.
With immaculate makeup and hair.
Oh, no. You always used to take that straight off. So, no.
I can't wait to get it off.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I can get the makeup off, it's off.
And that's the thing, lots of people talk about, it must be fabulous getting your makeup done. And look, absolutely it is.
It helps.
But when you're actually doing it every day for your job, it's, when I'm not at work, I don't wear any, which is nice.
Yeah. What I would love to know about is you and I have a commonality in that we're both country people.
Bush kids.
Yeah. So I've got this little factoid in my head that between 1980 and 1983, 24 people immigrated into Wauchope, arrived into Wauchope. So it was a bustling metropolis.
It was probably the Coombs, could have been the Wilsons. I could probably tell you which family it was,
6,000 people?
Yeah, and I feel like when I was growing up there, it was always around 5,000, and it never really sort of changed much. It's a bit bigger now though, everything sort of just expands. It's almost like growing. So it's on the mid-north coast of New South Wales, inland, but it's sort of stretched now into to Port Macquarie, and Mum and Dad's farm, sort of right in the middle of Port and Wauchope. So
and proper farm.
Oh, look, horses and stuff. Not they're not dairy farmers or anything like that.
So what did your home look like?
Okay, so home, nice dark brick, early 1980s build.
Oh.
And then Dad did all the work himself.
Pardon me a second. Dark brick on a farm. So not like a sprawling, lovely farmhouse.
No, but it's kind of
not the Instagram version.
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah, that dark brick earlier. I think it's the 70s actually, that 70s build. But then Dad set about renovating it himself, and and Dad does everything. Like Dad, he'll work it out kind of thing. Not that he has any of the skill set for it, but like, so he knocked out walls and things going like, I don't think that that's a supporting wall, and there's only one way to find out.
Give it a tap, give it a knock.
Yeah, but
shake it a little bit.
But put the kitchen in, did all the bathrooms, learnt to tile. The only thing Mum wouldn't let him touch was the electrics.
Yeah, that's smart.
But it's like there's a reason you know you're not allowed to touch those things. But other than that, built all the stables, all the sheds, and it's just an incredibly handy person who just can't sit still, even today at 77, almost 78, cannot sit still, just has to be outside and doing stuff. So whenever there's anything to be done around this house, because Mike's a little bit hopeless with this stuff. No, he is. I had to take away his power drill, like, because he was just putting holes in walls and that just couldn't hold up. It's been a disaster. It's just like anything needs to be done. It's like, Dad will be down soon. Just leave it for Dad.
I think it's really interesting that you have that sort of base, that childhood base of being the middle child in a country area. What did it look like? Describe your family home to me.
Yeah. Okay. So
like inside.
All right. So I said that there used to be a lot of dark brick and there was green carpet at the start, and then obviously that has changed over time. And Mum and Dad knocked out walls and all, but there's the big pot belly in the corner in the kitchen that we'd all run out in the mornings and we'd get dressed for school in front of it, and because it used to be so cold early in the mornings, just growing up anywhere in out bush and all.
Did you share a bedroom with your sister, or did you have your own?
I did, and then it reached a point I moved into like this really small spare room because she was so messy. And I had masking tape down the middle of the bedroom, which we'd agreed to.
It's like your side and my side.
Yeah, but I
had like meticulous alley side, and she had like chaotic sister
which
side.
Which Mike doesn't understand now because I'm messy these days. And it's like that was my childhood though. But she says, okay, fine, we'll put a line through the room. She's 3 years younger, just far more street smart than I was. And so we did it and all. And then she goes, doors on my side.
I could see that coming. Yeah. I could totally see that coming.
Everyone could see it coming, so I didn't see it coming. But
sucker.
Yeah. So and then Mum used, because when we were little, Mum's an amazing seamstress, and so she would make like wedding dresses, and she made all our ballet outfits for ballet and tutus, and there was nothing she couldn't make. Mum used to make all of her clothes, and until an age that was far later than appropriate would be matching.
Oh, wow. Do you have photos? I would love to see that.
Somewhere.
Oh, my God.
But
Gold.
Like red floral print, like pinafores and...
It was the 70s and 80s, mate.
I know. But then she now makes clothes for Scout, and it's like you weren't making clothes this cool for me when we were a kid.
I've got a photo of me going to a Kamal concert in little short safari shorts, like a safari suit.
Oh, a suit.
Shorts with short sleeves. Loved a short sleeve even then.
Excellent.
Brown, long white socks.
And you rocked it, didn't you?
Off to Kamal. Can you imagine? How 80s is that?
Why, parents so unkind.
I looked cute as a button though.
I bet you did.
Yeah, it was so sweet.
Look at you. You're still cute as a button.
Yeah. It takes a lot more work now.
I couldn't tell.
Oh, what a lovely, perfect breeze there is today. It's hitting just right. Oh, wait. It's my TurboBlade ultra-powerful bladeless tower fan by Shark, customized to my exact specification. Dual adjustable vents pointed to direct airflow in multiple directions, surrounding me in refreshing, endless breeze. Pivoted horizontally, that's air blanket mode, to absolutely coat my home and body in cool, crisp air. And I mean, look how stunning it is. It looks more like a gorgeous sculpture than a fan. This is usually the part where I would take my shirt off, but on the perfect temperature, it would seem too random, too abrupt. But what, I let myself get outstaged by a fan? There's no way. Oh, whoops, how clumsy of me. The TurboBlade ultra powerful bladeless tower fan by Shark. Ultra powerful, endlessly adjustable. Okay, so then aha photos, aha posters on your wall, like when you were a kid, or was it like...
I had all ballet. No, I had ballet photos of ballet dancers. Like Fiona Tonkin was on my wall, and she was the principal of the Australian Ballet, and I had her ballet shoes that were hanging up on the wall as well with her signature on them. It was very cool. So I didn't do any of the boy bands or...
that tracks.
Any of that kind of... I know.
That tracks.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
You are a very serious journalist. You started in the country and from this little tiny place, and then you've just expanded into traveling the world for work and living in a big city. And like, did that little girl ever think that that's what the future looked like?
Absolutely not that, but I had an English teacher in Year 8 who I'm still incredibly close to. I had lots of teachers that believed in me, but just having that one that connection who makes you truly believe that you can do anything and go anywhere. And when you're in a small country town, and like I think my first plane ride I was 18. First time I went on a plane I was 18. Like that's nuts, and I don't know how many times I tell the kids now, like, they never appreciate it, they never get it.
No, they never will.
And then look, fair enough too, like,
look what we did to them.
Stop banging on about it, would you, mum and dad?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I know. You used to play with a tin and a stick and walk to school in.
We kind of did sometimes.
Shoeless with like through the snow and
yeah, all that snow. Yeah, so there is that part of it, but then this sort of fabulous teacher that just talked about, and for me it wasn't a television thing, it was journalism and writing. I've had this most awesome career that so blessed, and I get that. You work really, really hard for it, and I think that I feel the ones who go on and do really well, it's like, be a team player, don't have an ego about you, just work hard and be interested, be sort of genuinely interested in the people that you're talking to and the stories that you're covering. And I think, if your focus is that, then sort of where it kind of goes, it sort of just goes. But it's sort of staying focused on what I consider the important stuff. The telly stuff's it's a bit weird, right? Like,
yes.
It's that part of it is still, can be quite strange and uncomfortable.
It's only as real as you want to make it, right?
Yeah.
Like, television can be, if you think that it's very important and it makes you something special, sure. It's a job.
Yeah.
It's a job that we all that we get to do, and it's awesome, but it's just a job.
Shit still stinks.
Right? I was going to say we all still put our shoes on one at a time.
Yeah, same.
Let's use your vernacular. Thank you to your English teacher who bestowed you the English language.
Use of English language. Thank you, Mr. Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts. Thank you for giving us Allison Langdon on a global scale. It was the same for me because Margot Webber, she saw potential in me that I didn't see, and I think it was the same with Olivier. Like, once I saw myself through my husband's eyes. And somebody that believed in me before I had the ability to, my world changed. What
did your teacher say to you?
It wasn't so much exactly what she said. It was that sense of attention and interest and belief. She just saw something in me that made me think, oh, okay, maybe life isn't going to stay in this small town that I grew up. Maybe I should have paid more attention to French when I studied it in high school, because I would end up being married to a Frenchman. Yeah. Maybe I might actually leave this town and go somewhere bigger. And so for you went from Wauchope to where?
Bathurst, another country town, but it had traffic lights. Had traffic lights.
Great. Yeah.
Wauchope still doesn't have traffic lights, which I love about it. But see, I love a small country town. And I would move back to a small country town in a heartbeat.
Really?
Yeah. Where I feel like you and look, I was very happy to get out at that age and go and sort of see the world and do things and what have you.
What age did you leave Wauchope?
When I finished high school.
So 17?
18.
I was 17.
Were you? Yeah.
I was literally turned 17. I was like, bye.
Really?
Yeah. And I went to a slightly bigger country town.
Look at this. This is a little parallels in our life. That's why we're mates.
That's why we're friends.
Yeah, and so I went to uni in Bathurst, but then my second year at uni in Bathurst, I did an exchange to New York.
Get out of here.
That's the biggest. That was the biggest, this little country bumpkin. And I'd saved all my money. I funded it myself. And I'd worked so hard through high school saving all my money. It was really, really like a really tough time over there. Just, it was lonely. I was 19. It was amazing. I learned so much. It was one of those great experiences and one of those ones where you look back on and going, I will love this. But there were so many bits in it that were really
challenging.
Really, really challenging. I remember calling Mum early in the trip and just going, really upset. And like, I want to come home. And she went, you're tougher than this. Pull yourself together. You're absolutely fine. Boom, boom, boom. And she told me later that she got off the phone and burst into tears.
Yeah.
Go, oh,
being strong for
home.
you.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I think it happened again, like after, near the end of the trip. And Mum went, all right, you can come home now, and it was this. But it was, it was fabulous.
Where'd you come home to?
Back to Bathurst, back to my final year at uni.
And then?
Bathurst.
So uni finishes, you've lived in New York, you've had your eyes open.
Then I got a job at Channel 9 in Sydney. And it was, it's one of those ones where I'd like to say they saw something in me. I was just there. And then someone quit. And it's like, I think I was doing like an internship or something at the time. I was physically present in the room. So it was like, okay, here you go. But I had a scholarship through uni with Channel 7 and then we got to the end of my uni degree and Channel 7 didn't want me.
Awkward.
And then I got that's okay. They paid for my third year of uni. So for that, I'm forever appreciative to Channel 7. And then, I got a job with Channel 9. And, it's weird because, people change jobs. It's so rare to stay in a job but I have been with Channel 9 since I was 21.
Wow.
I've done lots of different jobs for them at least. I was in Darwin Bureau for a bit, News, 60 Minutes obviously for a decade, Today Show and now Current Affair. But I've had the one. So I wouldn't even know how to do a resume. Like I'm screwed, right? I'm screwed.
You put it into ChatGPT.
Work history. It's one line.
It's a little bit more than one line. It's a little bit more than one line. So you've lived in all those different places with work then. So Darwin, all of these places are places you lived, but is this the first place that was really home?
This is home. Yeah. Since leaving home and leaving, mum and dad and all, this is the first place that's home.
Yeah.
And particularly now, we renovated it 3 years ago and that was a proper labour of love. And I look back on it now and romanticise it. But
I had this theory. I probably shouldn't say this to a mother, but I have a theory that renovation.
You compare anything to do with childbirth, you are, aren't you? It's exactly where you're going.
Not anymore. No.
You can. No, go ahead. I'd really like to know what you're going to compare to childbirth.
It's very, very painful, and then time passes and you forget how painful it was and you romanticise the experience and then you go and do it again.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I don't want to know
there's
about the rest of it. Thankfully, I'm never going to have to know.
Yeah. Were you physically wrecked after the process? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's exactly like childbirth then.
Not quite exactly. Few differences. But I came here when it was unrenovated and you still had a really cool house. You had a really lovely, inviting, friendly home. It always connected to the backyard. I don't think you had kids yet.
No.
I think it was just you and Mike. It was your home and, it was in a great location. It's very private.
Yeah.
But I just walked in and thought, this is a really cool place and it really, that tracks. It feels like you guys.
Yeah.
And then, you were cooking in the kitchen. It was literally over here in the corner.
Yeah.
And this was sort of sunk down. It was a kind of weird little hallway.
It was all weird. Yeah, it was because they kind of built this sort of, it was like a 1940s bungalow and then they kind of, I think the owners kind of went up and then they kind of went out. And so there was sort of like, it was it didn't kind of all match. So
it's like my house. I had exactly the same thing, 1930s bungalow, and I like to call it the Frankenstein's monster of a renovation because someone just sort of kept adding bits to it, and then it ends up being something that is just like this amalgam of bad ideas and weird spaces and low ceiling heights and
low ceilings. You couldn't even, like downstairs, you couldn't put fans in any of the rooms downstairs at the back.
I remember that one.
You'd chop your head off.
Yeah.
So that's why we raised. Was that your idea as well?
No. I think what happened was I said, why don't you put the kitchen there?
Yeah.
And then you guys decided, because let's talk about scope creep, shall we?
Oh, yeah. We added curves. We added curves when the scope changed. And,
Let me give you a good tip.
Never do curves.
No, well, these curves are expensive. The curve above your range hood here.
Yeah.
Do you know, I've got a bunch of them in my house, and what I used, that boring old cornice that you get in every house that's curved in the if you use that, invert it, and then stick it up to the plaster, set the edge, and you get a curve like that.
Yeah, right.
And it's cheap.
Yeah, where was this advice before we did the reno, mate?
Oh, I gave you plenty of free advice, Langdon.
Nothing's ever free. I'm sitting here doing a podcast with you.
Nothing is free. There's no such thing as a free dinner.
No. Well, I mean, I don't judge our friendship by those things. But if that's how you're going to judge it, that's fine.
No, doll, I don't at all. I'm just really super proud that I was able to help Spatial Plan to get this big change because it is such a huge change. This was a really kind of weird, multifaceted sort of strange height differences, and you walk up here and then down steps, and it was like a little all over the place. Now it's so chic and so
well. It makes sense now. I think is sort of more the point.
You definitely had scope creep. You definitely set the bar to go, we're just going to do this bit, and then we're like, oh, actually that doesn't make sense. We'll have to raise the ceilings downstairs, which means raising the floor up here, which means and then. And
the curves came about because this wall right behind you here was square because there's a bedroom in there, and it really looked like it was just plonked in and
pointing
not part of
into the room,
and with a sharp point. Like we'd had Mac in hospital with stitches from running into sharp corners, so there was a bit of trauma around anything really sharp. Like, and they run down here. So there was a bit of that and it just looked odd. So then as soon as we curved that, then everything curved. And then when you start curving steel and when you got a builder going, no, it's not that much more. It's not that much more. My advice is ask exactly how much more. Because I wouldn't, and now that we're in and all, I wouldn't change it. But it's stressful. It's really stressful when, you run out of money.
Yeah. Builders love a variation, and you say, like, anything is possible as long as you can pay for it. Yeah. In building.
Yeah. And I love our builder had a lot to do with then different things that changed in his house. He had great ideas and, he'd draw them on napkins and sort of send them through at 11 o'clock at night.
The end result of what you've achieved and your home, it's as refined, as considered, as sophisticated as
Mike.
You and Mike both are. It definitely fits you and it fits your family lifestyle. And, it does, it feels like a really chic, considered family home. So,
see, I don't know about chic. It's lived like from the very first day. It's like, okay, we've got two little kids running around. So shoes are allowed on in the house. You can wear your shoes unless they've been out playing in the mud. And even with all the furniture and stuff, it's like, kids, can't jump all over it, but nothing's precious in it, which is really nice. And, they've got kids around and all, the place gets trashed. And because we don't, I work 5 nights a week anyway. We don't do anything on the weekends unless it involves the kids because I don't obviously see them at night. So we have barbecues and people over most weekends because I just like being at home. I like entertaining, I'm quite happy to cook for whoever it is, and if it doesn't work, I don't really care either.
You really don't care.
Eat it, or we'll order a pizza. But it's just having people around and good people, and that's what we love. So it's fantastic for that.
If you were going to point to one thing in your home that has meaning to you, that is special, apart from the living things, apart from the kids and sport and Mike, what would it be?
You know what? This beautiful beautiful, very heavy wooden table that has great sentimental value to Mike's family, that we've made it fit because it's just, I mean, try and move it, you can't.
It is beautiful.
But it is very, very old and we absolutely adore it.
When you say very, very old, generationally old?
Generationally old, hundreds of years.
Oh, wow.
More like 100 and something years old.
It's so chic and contemporary. Like, it's a really interesting contemporary form.
No. It is really, really, really old and special. So, and it came up from like a family farm down Bowra way.
I'd like to think that the idea of being judged on your home is the reason why people don't invite me to their house that much, and it's not my sense of humour or my questionable personality.
Sense of humour. It's like your lamb and, and mutton.
How sweet you think you've got a sense of humour. But apparently it's not being judged.
Don't tell me. I mean, how many times are we trying to organise a catch up with you guys, and you're like, look, we're free after March, and I'm asking in October.
Yeah,
so don't tell me.
No, you're
sitting at home waiting for an invite, mate.
It's you guys and us, but mostly it's us. Now, your home hasn't always just been home. It was also a hospital for a little while.
Yeah.
Like you had a hospital bed in here, didn't you?
Well, no, when we were renovating, which made it even harder. So we were in a rental. Kids were little. So we had in the study at the front of the house, we jammed in a hospital bed. I was in that for 9 months. The laundry downstairs was sort of had like the shower chair. And I had like the old person recliner thing that you'd sort of sit on forward and then go back and then the legs would come up. And the house was set up all for that. While the kids were little, Scout was 1 year old, Mac was 3, and they were all upstairs. And then in the end, I couldn't for like the first 6 months, but after the last 3 months, I'd shuffle up on my backside to get upstairs to then I could read them books and stuff to go to bed. For
those listening that don't know, that was a work accident that you had, and it was something fun that was planned, and it just went awry.
So I was kicking Carl's ass in a hydrofoiling race.
The important part.
And I won. And then I may have been showing off a little. And then I had a catastrophic fall off said hydrofoil. And, 4 years later, still paying the price for it.
But you beat Carl.
But I beat Carl, and then as he always goes, but did you?
Who's the loser? Who actually lost?
Is this the winning? So, yeah, that's all right.
Did you rent the place before you got injured?
Yeah. Yes.
And then you rented a 2-story house, then you got injured, couldn't go up the stairs, had little kids, had to put a hospital bed downstairs. And convalesce at home in a hospital bed for 9 months. Yeah. That's traumatic.
There was a lot of shows, which Carl would always laugh about. Like, there's a couple of clips on YouTube that still do the round these days. That's Allison Langdon.
Yeah. I may have seen
Did you
one.
see the football team one? The San Francisco football team?
No.
Yeah, that one was on. That was all Langdon, baby. To have this during a reno, and we went looking for couches one day, and so Mike had to drive me and drop me off at the front. I was on crutches and went to find a park. And then the lift was broken and the shop was upstairs. So by the time Mike got back, I'm going up the stairs on my backside, which I got really quick at, by the way.
That tracks.
With the crutches sort of like under my arm going up, and I'm just going like, there better be a couch up here that we like, that we're going to buy. And you were sitting on it.
Oh.
You were sitting on it.
Thank goodness it paid off.
We weren't leaving there without a couch.
Tenacious. That's the thing. Unstoppable, unflappable.
I like
to say determined.
Yeah.
I think you're a very determined person who's achieved a great deal in their life, and I think you're very impressive.
I say exactly the same about you, and I love how long
not to my face. Never to my face.
Oh no, because you get really needy around it. It's like now, like this, You don't just say yes. You go like, give me more, and why don't you do it all the time? This is your problem, okay?
But why don't you give it to me all the time?
Because this is unnecessary. Unnecessary. You know. And I love how long our friendship has lasted.
Same.
And it's had nothing to do with the telly stuff or what have you.
It's funny, isn't it? It's like it's kind of like a sideline. I think one of the things that's probably really evident now that we've had this conversation is how much we have in common.
Yeah.
And the backstory and the country upbringing and
importance of family.
Yeah.
Like, that's front and center for you, and the home is the center of all of that. And that's very much you. It's been nice having you in my house.
Thank you so much for having us here. I just interviewed the interviewer. How'd I do?
I've got to give you 5 gold stars out of 10.
That was my conversation with my incredible friend, Allison Langdon. Friends are a kind of home. They keep us grounded and build us up when we need it the most. She always reminds me of that. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe and share it with a friend who'd love to hear it too. And thanks for joining me.